back to the channel. Today we're working on the Camaro. I'm on the way to the shop right now. We're going to put in some new axle shafts along with some other miscellaneous parts. So sit down, stick around, and stay tuned. So what I've got out here is these are the inner axle shafts that are part of that axle assembly. Essentially there's a C-clip here that holds it in, and there's a bolt that holds the assembly. I've got these set up with my new lug nut studs so that I can mark them out, because these are drilled for two different styles of studs. There's a screw-in style and a press-in style. I have the press-in style ones. I've got these already out. What you have to do, essentially have the drums, the rear brake drums off the car. You'll undo everything in the rear diff, drain the fluid out. It takes around 2 quarts of ADW90, and you have to make sure if you have a posi rear end, you have to have that limited slip additive. GM has a part number on the website. I have a fluid that has the limited slip additive included. I'm using Castrol's gear or Axel lube ADW90. So essentially, take your rear diff cover off, drain out all the fluid, and then when you get that far, so take your rear cover off, drain out the fluid, and then take those 2 bolts out, 2 C-clips out. We'll show you that when we get that far. Okay, so take your cover off, and you'll take a flat blade screwdriver and pry this off. It might take a little bit of taps with a hammer. Should come off relatively easy. What you're going to want to do next is you're going to take this bolt out, which will allow this pin to come out. And I got lucky. Mine was already sitting like this. You might have to throw the car in neutral and spin it around so you can see it like this. So take this bolt out, and then you should be able to take a screwdriver and a hammer and tap this pin out. And then when we get that far, we'll show you how to take the C-clips on the axle. So, this bolt, you'll probably have to have it down here. This is a 5/16 bolt. This will come out of this, which allows this pin.
Where does that come out of?
Right here.
What?
It allows this pin to slide down. And then what you'll do is you'll push your axle in, and you can see right there is my C-clip about to fall out already. So you'll take that C-clip out, and then you'll be able to remove the axle shaft. Oops. Remove the axle shaft, and be careful not to ruin the bearing on the very end, or the seal on the very end of the axle. Slide your new one in, put your C-clip back in, and then slide the axle out. So once you make sure you put your new axle in, you slide that C-clip in, you gotta make sure that you push it back out. So we're gonna do that quick, and then we'll come back when it's put back together. Okay, so now that I've got these axle shafts back in, make sure that everything lines up like this, and that when you put these C-clips in, you push that axle back so it rests back in here. So it'll move back and forth a little bit when it's in. Put your pin in, put the bolt in, tighten it, and you should be good to go. Clean up any residue from the old gasket. I use black RBT silicone that is oil resistant. Put it together, and you should be good to go. Okay, so when you've got your silicone back on, you can let it cure for however long it tells you. I use the oil resistant one. It takes an hour to cure, and they say 24 hours before you use it, but I'm just going to let it go for an hour. You want to torque your bolts to 25 foot-pounds in a star pattern. I start at the bottom. I'm not 100% sure where you're supposed to start, but I start at the bottom, top, and then make a cross pattern at 25 foot-pounds, and then do it all in a circle at 25 foot-pounds. Make sure that after you've done this, we're going to go ahead and add our fluid after that. And